Namaste, Galactic family. Welcome back to the channel IndigoAngel. Come on into this dimension and come on into a Super Bowl pre-time, pre-energy discussion with my lovely roundtable and my beautiful divine sisters. And we're excited to step into this roundtable essentially and go through all of these pre-game energies with you guys because we've been getting a lot of transmissions the last couple days. We've been getting a lot of energy hits even this morning and psychic visions and downloads. And we've been even just to the point of coming to meet with you guys for this live. We have been feeling an intensity of energy stir up and kick up. We have been seeing the Schumann resonance spike up and rise in the grids as well. It's just recently and currently influxing. And so energy is definitely starting to expand. And so there is a lot for us to really get into. There's a lot for us to dive into. And we're going to bring forward, some of the esoteric things that we have found, but we're also going to probably be just giving you a lot of our psychic intuition hits and downloads of what we're just genuinely seeing and feeling when it comes to this and what's kind of coming through for us. So, we're so excited that you guys are here. We really want to encourage you to join us in the discussion, and you can do that by subscribing to the channel for at least 60 seconds, so that way you can get into the live chat and you can have this discussion with us. You can put everything down in the comments and let us know what you guys are thinking and feeling and kind of roll along with us through this because there's so many angles, there's so many synchronicities, there's so much numerological manifestation and alignment with this event that's really starting here, I think, in about 30 minutes. And the kickoff to Super Bowl 59 is set to start at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So, we're coming in right before, all of this is about to happen. This year's game is going to take place at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, home of the Saints, and it's going to be featuring the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles, something that I truly and genuinely know nothing about because this is foreign for me. I don't really watch a lot of the football games and things like this. Really, I think one of the main reasons that most people are tuning in is because they're going to be watching for Elon's commercials. I mean, I saw some charts, you guys, where it showed the number of people that were coming for Kansas City Chiefs, the number of people that were coming for the Eagles, and the majority of the people were coming for, what's going to be aired on these commercials. I guess these are going to be pretty enlightening in terms of what's going on with Doge and the USAID. As we know, that spending and all of that has been a little crazy. And we're also going to talk a little bit about the halftime show and how this, as we know from past Super Bowls, and that there's been a lot of satanic ritual abuse, and we know how they're utilizing that symbolism, and we really feel and think that this Super Bowl, that it's really going to be about making a mockery of Christ himself, because the guest is Kendrick Lamar, and I guess he has some pretty satanic music and things like this. So we're going to kind of get into all of this. Just have you guys know we did set a huge intention and a huge prayer coming into this roundtable tonight with you guys, as we really want to bring in the Christ consciousness, the Christ light, and the Christ protection around this event, because we do feel that, this is kind of like we're going to be walking a tightrope the rest of the evening, just making sure that our country is safe, that the sitting president is safe, that, everybody at the Super Bowl essentially is going to be safe. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in with us tonight. And we'll start just with a brief introduction so everyone can say hello, just starting with myself, and we'll go around. And you guys know me. I'm IndigoAngel. I usually go by Indy. I'm down here in Pensacola, Florida, and I have been picking up on more trifurcation Stargate energy that's starting to activate in Sarasota Stargate 2 and Bermuda Triangle Stargate 3 connecting to Charleston. So there's a lot of activity over here down in Florida right now. The grids are calling in a lot of guardian souls and a lot of guardian consciousness around this area. A lot of people are starting to get called down to come work on Stargate 2 because the rescue team is getting activated. So we might talk a little bit about that tonight, and I'm just happy to be here with you all. So thank you.
Well, hi everyone. I'm Ani, or you can call me Ani Sophine. I'm with on Quantum Messages at Ani Sophine, and that's my podcast. And I live in Ashland, Oregon, which is about 1 hour north of Mount Shasta. And Mount Shasta is another super portal Stargate spot that Indy has talked about before. And she needs a lot of support and help right now. She's, in California, so she's receiving a lot of negative energy from certain other spots around the planet, and we need to make sure that we help her out. I just have one recommendation for tonight's podcast that we're going to be doing live. If you have any sage with you or any candle, I would bring it with you while we're talking about some of these very deep topics, just so you can sage yourself while we bring up certain images and potential frequencies into this. We want to make sure that we really cleanse our systems. And like Indy said, bring in Christ and Sophia's triple white light while we're having these discussions. Thanks so much, everyone.
And hi, aloha tribe. I am just here. Actually, it's interesting that Sister Ani brought that in because I was plugging in my good frequencies to pipe out into the world. So feel free to tune into that too. I'm excited to be here with the ladies tonight. We're always bringing the fire in a good way. And, this is a topic that we need to discuss. So many people are feeling these interesting energies. I'm using the word interesting very loosely there. And so I'm just here filled with prayer, filled with God's love, and just connected into Mother Earth so we can bring that energy into the space and, yeah, do what we need to do tonight to really counterbalance whatever black magic we got going on over there. So lots of love to you all. Can't wait to see where this goes.
Hi, I'm Missy, and I'm so happy to be hanging with my sisters again. I just love doing these lives for you guys, and I'm still on the Florida grids. I actually came back from a cruise this week. I went on the Margaritaville cruise out of the port of Palm Beach, and I was gone in the Bahamas for 4 days, and I'm wearing my Bahamas t-shirt with the turtles, and I've got my braids and my rattle. And I went to Mar-a-Lago yesterday. So that, this place is activated. I'm telling you, there's so much activation going on that temporarily I'm feeling that Stargate 2 has actually moved to Mar-a-Lago, and that could be talked about another time. And that interesting thing is I was meditating on this 59th.
We got 59 concurrent viewers right now, just to throw that in there. 59 viewers.
Wow.
Okay.
The last Super Bowl I ever decoded live was actually February 3rd of 2013, and it was in New Orleans, the same place, and Beyonce was playing. I watched the halftime show. I wanted to see it live, and I was in our RV in Western North Carolina when we were living in Fletcher, and I remember it was making me sick, and the power actually went out when she was performing. And that was the last time I ever watched a decode live. I might look up some of the highlights on YouTube, but I never will watch any of those things live. And there's so much synchronicity. First of all, let me give you some of the weather pieces. Remember, New Orleans had 10 inches of snow. Last year, Hurricane Beryl went through that area. We had Helene go through that area. And it was just recently we got the intel that the cathedral network of Siesta Key, Stargate 2, Sarasota is kind of having some problems. It's not having problems on the Bahamas side. It's having problems in that Western as everything is being reconfigured into the Gulf of America. There's even it was coming to me yesterday that even the Christics fight amongst themselves because they see things from a different perspective. So our intention and what we're praying for is that everybody really sees the truth of who our common enemy really is. This is really important, that the truth be unveiled and the the mind control be lifted. I mean, there's even some more synchronicity. The day being February 9th, some of those plane crashes, I heard a man decoding that they were on the 29th. And we had one that went into Philadelphia. We've got the Philadelphia Eagles, Golden Eagle grid. The other one, Kansas, Arkansas, right? But that's on the Missouri line, the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, but it's just kind of weird that with the planes, you know, with Kansas, with Philadelphia, somebody's signaling something. There's definitely some signaling going on here.
There's definitely a lot of signaling that's happening. And let's just give a shout out to everyone that's tuning in with us. So we have Ashra Healing and Wellness saying infinite love and blessings, watching from Southwest Florida. Such perfect timing to do live. I would gladly watch this any day over the Satan Bowl. Yes, awesome. Well, we're happy that you're here. Jack Carter's here. He says, greetings, blessing, beautiful souls. Amanda Shine Your Light, watching from Australia and sending rainbows of harmony. Thank you so much. Jim Montgomery is in the house. And he says, good evening, fabulous gals. Janet Cressy, hi everyone. Greetings from Sweden. Oh, yeah, blessings to Sweden. Yeah, big shout out to you. We love you. Shikana Ma, we are super stoked to reclaim original blueprints here in Kootenais, where the Lemurians came exo churchward map. Yeah, Shikana is going to be joining us in the New Earth Prophecy course, so I'll be excited to see you there. Um, let's see here. Ishura Aru. If the Eagles lose, it will be their 666th loss. The final score may be reduced to 14. Yes, that's what they're saying. There's a lot of 666 codes with this. Also a lot of 333 codes. They were tying a lot of that into Trump's birthday. Jack Carter says, Cornwall, King Arthur birthplace, sending you all my love, infinite blessings. Yeah, everybody's joining. Wow, Tennessee, Kentucky, Bigfoot. How's it going? C2 Agent 247. I know I'm not saying that right. Hi, everyone. Awaken Your Mind is here. Bonjour from France. Oh, nice. Um, yes, we have Strict Hydra 9105. PJ SoCal. Alex Cortez is here. Victoria Rowe. Everybody's tuning in. Beverly, yeah, so good to have you guys. We love you all so much. Thank you for being here. And we're excited to kind of just go over some of the stuff that we have seen. There's so much tying in. We got Brooke from Texas. Hey, Brooke. And I think what Missy was just saying, she's talking about New Orleans just being a place in the grids that a lot's happened there. I mean, a lot. Yeah, hurricane. And just recently we had the January 1st attack that happened where the man plowed with the pickup truck into the celebratory crowd. So we do know they're going to have a lot of security there. They said 3,000 officers from the Department of Homeland Security, plus the Louisiana State Police, that are all stationed throughout the French Quarter. So, yeah, I mean, what do you guys think this means symbolically that the first sitting president is attending a Super Bowl? Um, do you think this is a spiritual thing? Do you think this is a strategy thing? I mean, what are you girls picking up with him attending? Do you think this is a humble decision to attend the Super Bowl? What do you think was behind the motivation of having Trump attend?
I'll go first. What came to me is that I feel like Trump is humble. I feel like he genuinely wants to go because he wants to show Americans that, he's supportive of them in a large event. However, I do feel that there are other forces and entities that have a different agenda for him and for moving or whatever's going to happen at the Super Bowl. I don't know. I'm just getting kind of weird vibes right now. And also the energy's increasing on the planet because literally within the past half an hour, the Schumann resonance went up 20%. So something is going on. Something is happening. So I'm kind of on my toes a little bit. I'm just really aware right now, and just like really kind of watching out. I don't know how you ladies feel. about
I
that.
actually have some intel from a fellow intuitive who lives in New Orleans, and he said that he is not going outside. He is staying in his home. He will not even leave his home, based on his guidance. And he has also mentioned there is a very strange mist over there today, starting this AM. Upon waking, he noticed this very strange mist, which we kind of decoded mist a little bit, Indy, when we were in Arkansas. I think we had a lot of mist over there. So I found that interesting. And for me, the whole Trump thing, I just found it a little bit, how do I say this? Not smart. I don't know. Like if I
Yeah.
was that guy and right, and the president, I know how many people are maybe not so happy with me right now with some of the choices I've been making. I don't know that even if I was gonna go, I don't know that I would have announced it. And so the fact that he made a point to announce it, I'm thinking, geez, the Secret Service must have quite a task on their hands to secure an event like that. I can only imagine what that did for the people going. I'm imagining lines were longer, things were crazier, all of this traffic and all the things they have to do when a president comes into a space. We saw this when we were in DC, some of the things they had to roadblock all these things when different officials were coming through. So it's a really big deal. So to me, it just felt a little planned, like there's something going
Hmm.
on. I feel like there's something fishy that is not in a good way. And I'm not accusing him or anyone, particular, faction, but something is off. And I haven't quite obviously pinpointed. I'm bracing myself because energetically it feels like there will be something happening. And I was guided very strongly to pray, today about it when I went out on the land, to just pray, protection and calling in all the teams, all the guides, all the ancestors, like everyone to the table, all the angels, and especially Great Spirit to just kind of protect everyone involved, physically, and also those that are tuning in and watching, because this may not necessarily be something like a physical event that happens, but there may be something else, right? Frequency wise, or we're going to find out. Clearly, we're going to find out. And I think everybody's feeling the same way that's tuned in, to energy. Everybody's like, something's up here. I've been hearing it from lots of people. So,
Well, what's interesting, I think, is, ever since coming to Palm Beach, Trump's field is huge. I could feel it. And I said, I know he's here. I knew yesterday when I went to Mar-a-Lago, it was feeling like, even although the cops were there and the cones and all the security, it felt like it was a decoy, like something else was going on. Where last week, but I didn't go by Air Force One, so I couldn't vet that. But last week when I had to go to the fair with family, not my choice, but I'm actually glad I went because I received a lot of intel about AI and about how at this event, what they're actually doing is they're literally harvesting loose energy as a battery. And the reason part of this mist is what I'm hearing and getting. Not just the spraying and what they could be doing, but these souls are leaving because there's plenty of vampires in the ground. Like literal, reptilians and vampires and people that drink certain substances that are in New Orleans. And since all these storms, the decode I got with Helene, interestingly enough, right now there's a bunch of fires in Western North Carolina. So I'm letting you know that all that brush from Helene, it's being burned up. But there's a changing of the guard of souls right now. Certain souls that have been connected to the land are leaving. They're like graduating from holding space for the land. And there's a whole other level of beings that have lost their lives that may be in the bog, these bodies that just like when they die instantly and they're in silt, or they're decomposing, and their whole body is like just in whatever, they're buried alive in that. Now, these new disasters and different things, those are taking the place. So there's this whole thing of this changing of the guard of souls is what's been coming to me. Like I know that because I used to do that Biltmore Village mystery tour in Western North Carolina, and there was a great flood of 1916. Well, all that is done. Those souls have left, and this is also gearing up towards our grid work in South Carolina, because presidents and people that signed the Declaration of Independence, they told me years ago when I went in 2015 they were going to stay until there was an advocate for the land, because not everybody that was in government actually 100% agreed with what they had to do. They made the best choices they could with the information they had. They did it the best way they could. Some of them, not everybody, took bribes and was corrupt. There were some good people that really loved America. And as far as the whole Trump and all this, the decode that I got even before I went to Mar-a-Lago is that, yes, these were Atlantean priests. Some of them were dark. Some of them, it was almost like in Star Wars with the stormtroopers. It's almost like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and when he had to train Anakin, for you Star Wars fans, and Anakin went down the dark path. Well, Obi-Wan, wanted to control him, and, Yoda didn't want him to do it, but his ego got in the way, and he was like getting angry, like, I want you to do things the way I want you to do it. This is the right way. Well, this is the way, our side has been trying to, like, fighting against each other, like, do it this way, do it that way. And as I was saying before, even some of the Christics, with, different groups don't get along and see things differently. And it's like cause splits in consciousness and rifts in family. And that goes back to what the Civil War is, because you have to remember with the whole Civil War piece, it was brother fighting against brother. You're dividing the North and South by a line, you're drawing a line in the sand. And if you support, one government, or you support, you say you're fighting for the freedom of people so they don't have to be slaves. That's only part of the whole story of the Civil War. That's not even the whole piece. The Tea Party, there's so many things that we don't even know. And Abraham Lincoln during that time was kind of almost like the fall guy. Interestingly enough, on the ship, I watched a little bit of the movie The Fall Guy, because we just went in there, and I thought, because I thought the name was interesting, because the fall guy is like a patsy, right? It's like somebody that you put the blame on. And how many times has that happened with certain things, with John Wilkes Booth, who actually shot Lincoln? Did he really do it? The one Lee Harvey Oswald, did he
Well,
really
it's
shoot?
it's interesting you're bringing up the Fall Guy scenario because, we just had this gameplay. It's so interesting. People coming in the comments saying, yes, Trump plays 5D chess. Yeah, a mix between a game and a spiritual, strategy that's happening.
Right.
I think that's what they're trying to display is like with him attending is like they're showing that it's a game. I think they're showing that they're
Oh, yeah.
players in the game. But to go off of that, the Fall Guy thing, it's like Netanyahu Bibi just came over here and kind of gave he passed the ball to Trump, so to speak, gave him the golden pager, and they announced, these plans like, well, if Iran, tries anything, then we have permission to go do this and that. It's like, again, all this symbolism, prophecy, and stuff that's kind of stacking up to make us think, all right, what's going to pop off at the Super Bowl? Because it's like they're setting the stage, they're setting the chess mate, the checkmate type of thing. And is Trump, are they playing good cop, bad cop now?
And you
You
know
know?
what? According
Absolutely.
to what I heard with the White Hats, when you listen to Real Raw News and all those other alternative media sources, way before X came on the scene, they always said that Bydone never had the football, and Trump always had the football, which is the nuclear codes. That's what they say.
Right,
Well,
right.
shouldn't he have them?
No, I'm saying even in the last regime, that one never
Mm,
had. And he never was in Air Force One. That's what they said.
mm.
Well, I
So,
think it's a good time for us to maybe check out this, esoteric deep dive that this lady did and watch her video. It's about 6 minutes long, but she does kind of, I think, pull in a lot of the pieces and which can help define this,
oh,
scenario
oh,
and and all the things that are tying in.
One thing I want to tell you before that, I heard these tickets, Ron said something about the tickets were like $7,000 to attend this Super Bowl.
Wow. And I said something earlier, I think I sent it in the group chat. I said, I hope they're not bringing any children to this event. I just, given the state of the world, I think parents need to be a little bit more vigilant and probably not take their little ones. I think they did talk about Taylor Swift playing. It's going to be Kendrick. I mean, when I found out it was Kendrick Lamar, I was like, oh my gosh, that's not good. But I don't think they should be taking little ones to these things, given just the state of the energy of the world, that we need to, make sure that our country truly is safe before bring, I feel like, lots of people together in such a way, especially, our children. So, yeah, let's go ahead and watch this video.
So this is pretty interesting. I asked Grok who won the Super Bowl and what was the score. And apparently Kansas City Chiefs is going to win with a score of 35-38. But I also believe that a big case of revelation of the method is about to occur. So apparently the Super Bowl will take place 47 years and 45 weeks since the release date of Black Sunday. And we all know that Trump is the 45th and 47th president. Symbolism will be their downfall. If you don't know what Black Sunday was about, let me go ahead and tell you. So there was a blimp pilot that was in the Vietnam War, and he was psychotic. He wanted to kill himself in a big old way. So he teams with a Palestinian terrorist. And this terrorist plans to use Lander, the pilot, to set off a bomb at the Super Bowl by crashing his aircraft into the crowded stands. Just keep in mind that it's a Palestinian terrorist. Elon Musk posted this, which is a blimp on fire. The Super Bowl is being held in Louisiana and will take place 9 months and 11 days after Louisiana's birthday. Also, assassination in Gematria equals 92, and the Super Bowl will be held on 2/9. If you take a close look at the logo for the Super Bowl, 666. On February the 4th, Trump says he's given advisors instructions for Iran to be obliterated if it assassinates him. Now, we all know what has happened in the past few days about Gaza and how Trump wants to take it over. We know that the Palestinians that lived in Gaza practice Islam, if y'all get where I'm going with that. Now let's look at this movie, The Dark Knight Rises. Now watch this.
Merely transferring power from one administration to another, or from one party to another. But we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people.
And we give it back to you, the people.
For too long, a small group in our nation's capital
Are corrupt.
has reaped the rewards of government,
Rich.
while the people have borne the cost.
The oppressors of generations who have kept you down with myths of opportunity.
The establishment protected itself, but not the citizens of our country.
And do you accept the resignation of all of these liars? Of all
Now watch this part of the movie.
Let the games begin.
What is this going to cause? Him to activate the... Do y'all remember in the movie Leave the World Behind? It started with airplane crashes, and then these little red notes came out of the sky. Do you see what that writing is? Is this all predictive programming? Is this card from the Illuminati card game the reason the New World Order is going to come? It just has to start with this. And is the reason because Trump's going to be at the Super Bowl and this is going to happen? The reason why Elon Musk is now on the Time magazine as the president. I'm not saying anything's going to happen, but just because of the plane crashes, I knew who was going to win the Super Bowl. And even AI is saying it. So if we use revelation of the method and predictive programming to see what's about to happen, the clues kind of seem like it's possible. Also, the Super Bowl will be at Caesar's Superdome. And Elon Musk posted this: assassination of Julius Caesar. And a picture of Mario with a red hat, because that's what he wears. Also, Netanyahu presents Trump with a golden beeper at Washington meeting, along with this one, with the number 33, of course, and 9/17/24. Do y'all remember what that was? On 9/17/24, the Lebanon pager explosions happened, which was what? A terrorist attack. I'm not sure what's going to happen tomorrow, but I do know one thing. They've been showing a lot of symbolism for that day. Remember, revelation of the method is a spiritual law. The Lord gives his prophecies in the Bible. Satan gives his because he's the prince of the air and airwaves on television, music, through books, and any other outlet he chooses. If you do not know Christ, it is time to get to know him, because this year, the year of the snake, is going to get wilder than it already has been. The Bible says that if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and that he died on the cross for your sins, you will be saved. Repent and turn to Christ now before it is too late.
Wow. That's
Can
a
I
wow.
can I add something astrologically to all of this for the next 4 days? So on February 10th, 2025, Mercury is square Uranus in Capricorn and Aries. And then on February 11th, Sun is square Uranus in Capricorn and Aries again. So what this means is that huge shift in awareness is going to happen, and which could feel very unsettling and upsetting. And this is a time to expect the unexpected. And these sudden changes in energy will be shocking. And this could potentially surprise us in potential war and in governments around the world. So just be aware for that. And then on February 12th, the February is full moon in 29 degrees Cancer. So it's Gandanta, which is the knot. And so when you're in a knot phase, then this is Vedic astrology, by the way. You need to release that knot or untie that knot, and which means that the energy could potentially be out of control because of the emotional sign of Cancer. This could create upsets in the military, and protection may be needed in multiple countries. Yes. Wow. So that's kind of big.
That is a great astrological breakdown for us all to tie that in. Thank you so much, Ani. One thing that was coming to my mind when we were watching that video was I don't know if I like so much how, Elon's posting things like the Caesar's assassination type of stuff, like, the predictive programming of this. There was something that happened that I thought was kind of significant. When Trump's assassination attempt occurred, how it just so magically shot him in the right ear. I remember putting a video out talking about, just to throw something out there, something that seems kind of crazy, and no, he wouldn't do this, da 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 da, but I put out the potential question, like, what if he would have staged his own assassination
Friendly fire
for notoriety, to build it up, and I just got the thought, if you do something with the snake energy, or if you act upon snake energy, then you're going to karmically manifest people in who are probably going to be aligned to that. If Elon is aligned to that, and then they're consciously, if they're this manipulative in terms of the collective and their perception, if they could, stage things or play certain symbolisms out in certain ways, like if they're this cunning to actually know that they're foreshadowing, all of these things, so that's just kind of my thought, is that would they go so far to stage his assassination and go so far to stage some other type of assassination attempt? There's actually a report on this. It's actually a project that some lady put out. I came across it the other day and I didn't put two and two together, but now it's coming up in my brain. It's like Project Northwood or Northrop or something. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but it's this whole like printout of how they will basically like the Central Intelligence Agency, they will stage things and go as far as, inciting wars or inciting certain things just to play the tactic, just to play the game. And, now he's besties with BB and he apparently is, being known for doing this, for making things look like it's someone else's fault. And now I'm not saying that I entirely agree or think that's entirely what's going on, but I do feel like if you look at like Jews, like the history of Jews in general, um, they're known for being fickle. They're like fickle and they're cunning and they can play like because they're smart. They play, tricks and things like this. So, it's just all something to think about. But I want to say that, like, no, that's not the case. Like, Trump's energies are pure. He's coming in with the Christed consciousness light. I mean, we've talked about a higher dimensional, fifth dimensional soul being walking into Trump's body, and that, just the way he's executing things and having solutions for problems. And, you know, that's more aligned to like a healthy alpha masculine energy versus this trickery energy. But again, how are we supposed to entirely trust the whole scenario when we're clearly, sitting in the year of the snake? So
when we pulled cards yesterday, Ron pulled the coyote card. In the native tradition, coyote is good medicine, even though it's a trickster. So what's been coming to me, is it possible that they're using this kind of trickster energy and doing this because they don't want to be left behind? They have to be the leaders. That's why Mara Gaza, right? Because if they don't do it, who will take out the other threats? And and even the whole AI thing, we know China's gonna go forward with it, so they probably think we should do it, right? They needed to be the leaders of everything, because if they don't step up and do it, they're going to be surpassed and it's going to get done anyway. And even though it's not good, it's going to be much worse if somebody else does all this stuff. That's kind of what my thoughts are on it. Like, it's like fighting fire with fire. And Arthur.
Yeah,
No, go
Indy,
ahead.
I just have to confirm, you really brought in kind of what I was in code speaking about when I did my intro. The fact that he, you know, chose to do this and told everybody about it ahead of time. To me, he is a very intelligent creature. We know that. He's very strategic. We know that he has teams working around him, right? And helping him. It's not just him doing all this. So to me, that was very intentional. And I wasn't saying like when I said it was stupid, I wasn't saying he was being stupid. I was saying like, let's figure out why he would do that, because that doesn't make sense, right? To anyone else thinking about that logically. Why would you want to potentially put yourself in that risk, in that situation, and unless there was a reward, unless there was a reason behind it. And we know he's a strategist. We know he plays chess. We've already seen all this. And something that I really wanted to bring through the guys here, because they're watching the Super Bowl. They want to, and I don't want to really participate in that, but no judgment. I mean, that's your choice. I'm putting protection over them in the house. But they were watching like the pre before it started, and it was showing like fans and different things like this. And one of the fans had a hat on, and it just stuck out so clearly. I heard my husband say it. It said, "Not today, Satan." And it just was like, oh, I'm getting chills as I say that. And it was like, oh, that is by purpose that's on the camera right now for everybody to see that. So just
wow.
very interesting little tidbit that came through on this end.
I just want to just acknowledge Abe in the chat. He wants to know who we think is going to win the Super Bowl. He says, "Who wins Super Bowl? We were told everything must happen twice in the Q drops. Chief beat 49ers twice. Chiefs beat Eagles twice also." Um, yeah, I mean, well, obviously in that video we just watched, the AI predictive programming says it's going to be what? The Chiefs win 38 to 35.
Yep. I'm gonna
Yeah.
look right now. I'm gonna ask Grok.
Well, and I saw
See what he
on
says.
Instagram there were some ducks. They did a little experiment with the ducks and had two different dishes of what they were eating from, and the ducks predict it's the Eagles. So, and they were saying go birds. So that's what I have for you.
Well, it's kind of like it does feel like something like, well, I mean, yeah, if you look at the symbolism, the golden eagle grid is kind of like a negative dark military grid, or it's been taken over by that anyways. And then you have the chiefs, right? So it's like the native energy. So it's kind of like maybe the battle of light and dark a little bit. But I just want to give a quick shout out to PJ. He did give us a donation, and I think we had another one come in as well. Alex Cortez did as well. Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate that. Um, yeah, big hearts for you guys over here. And yeah, Clay, Lily's already watching the Super Bowl now, so it does look like they've kicked it off. So um, we probably won't stay on too much longer. But we did want to talk about a couple other things while we were here with you guys, just to kind of tie it in, just real quickly, our thoughts on what the halftime show is going to be like. We do know that this is like you said, Kendrick Lamar. And I do have a quick video of Kendrick Lamar and just one of his songs or one of his previous performances where he was wearing the crown of thorns. And I guess he was mocking Christ and women's rights. And so it's interesting that that ties in and that they chose him because coming into this, I mean, earlier I did a channeling and I just got really a lot of hits to the sacral chakra. And it felt like whatever dark forces are going to be there, that it's going to be harvesting the feminine energy. It felt like it was really going to be feeding off of fertility. Like there was some sort of underlying fertility symbolism with this. I was tuning into like the menstruation blood, and I was tuning into like the Irish lines and the Mary Magdalene lines. Like somehow this is like tying in and connected as well. Yeah, Ani's clearing, do some clearing.
Yeah.
Um, we
It's
don't
also
we don't like this, but I mean, we can rebuke this, honestly. And I think that's what's most important is that like if you're conscious of it, you have stronger shields so it doesn't infiltrate you. And then you can also opt out of, not watching it as well and just kind of like get the backstory if you feel like actually watching it. But this is one of Kendrick Lamar's performances and it's interesting, he's the crown of thorns and we talk about the persecution, the crucifixion and the martyrdom wounds and how many people have already died as martyrs through these World War timelines we're going through.
so close to Valentine's Day. And the whole thing is it's running like splitter technology, Vesica Pisces, to distort the masculine feminine so they don't come together. And like Valentine's Day has the whole Cupid's arrow. And I'm trying to think, wasn't that like the legal day of prostitution? It was like okay to hire a prostitute or something on Valentine's Day. It's a lot of these holidays always have a dark origin.
Yeah, the story of Valentine's Day and what it comes from is really disgusting. I won't go into it, but it does actually play into the messing with the divine feminine and blood and that sort of thing. And I just want to highlight a comment here from Elwood Oddfog says Donald means chief of chiefs. Interesting.
All right, interesting.
Bet there's going to be red costumes or outfits or something, just like how it was in the Grammys. There's going to be something weird like that.
Well, and I have to say, this is what I was guided as I flew in here to get on. I was guided to put on for me, this is the solar plexus, this is the sacral chakra, this is the divine feminine, and the root chakra, I was guided with the red. And so you bringing those colors up and how you felt already about all this, it's like, wow, no coincidences here.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, and I think Ani, so I mean, I think this just goes to show that the music industry in general, you know, this is going to be so many energies merging at once, right? But the music industry in general, we know is satanic. Gave us a video to watch that just I think can
Speak
help
for itself.
highlight, yeah, help
Yeah.
highlight exactly.
Yeah, before I start, I do want to say that even with the last video, I was literally
Yep.
rebuking. If you guys saw me, like I could feel what we need to do here.
Yeah.
We're being called to clear this. We're being called
Yeah.
to work, opposing force to this. So, but definitely those, that are not in that arena to be able to do that right now may not want to watch. So, and me as a hip hop, conscious hip hop artist, I've faced this, part of the music industry very strongly. This is what has inspired me to get into music, is to combat this. This is how they get these frequencies out into the world. This is how they program people, right, with this music. And they have black magic spells all throughout. So just protect yourself in these moments, of course.
Pay attention. We can't deny the fact that a lot of celebrities, and especially in the music industry, are all of a sudden all wearing red. Their performances are looking real satanic, ritualistic. We're going to jump right into this. But do take the time to check this video out, because it could be an artist that you're listening to. Remember, whatever we consume, whatever we listen to, whatever we watch, becomes us. Vibration is everything. Frequency is everything. There's a lot of negative frequency when it comes to these type of artists and the music that they put out there to the masses. Just remember that. So first on the list is Megan Thee Stallion, real satanic, devil-like. And then look at this clip, brimstone and fire. Everything's on fire. People are dying, turning into ashes, kind of like apocalyptic. You see the serpent tongue. She's levitating. Serpent's all black, red bedding. She's moving in like a lustful manner. Long claws. And next on the list, we got Travis Scott. As you can see right here in the photo, it looks like little blue figures are going inside what seems to be a portal, coming out the other side as little red demons. The theme of his part to get into the concert, really similar to the Mouth of Hell, also known as Dante's Inferno, as you can see here in the imagery. Really close resemblance. You're entering to get filled with negative vibrational frequencies. Next, we got Cardi B. I don't even really got to say much. I mean, look at her outfit. Plus, just listen to what she said in one of her interviews. Check this out.
I don't know why I didn't want her to do this song, Shake It, or like any drill songs, because it's like these songs are activating like these demons. You know what I'm saying?
All right, next on the list, we got Billie Eilish. So it looks like she gets stuck in the back with a bunch of these like syringes with needles. And then she's an angel in the sky. She's coming down. She's in all white wings, hits the floor. She lands in tar, and then she walks out of the tar. Fallen angel. I mean, come on now. Look at the wings. They're not angelic anymore. They're more demonic, evil. Look at the people burning in the fire. All right, next we got Doja Cat. I mean, I ain't even really got to say much. Her outfit looked ridiculous. She looked just like the baby on the cover of American Horror Story Apocalypse, where it has like the demon finger telling the baby. I mean, Doja Cat went even as far as deleting all her content on TikTok and then uploading her profile picture as something demonic. Then we got Rihanna dressed in all red, and her stage setup kind of looks like structure of a pyramid, and then she does the famous triangle with her hands at the end, and then she looks off to the side. It's like a confirmation. All right, next we got Lil Uzi Vert. I mean, right here, like, look, he literally dressed up all demon in black. And then I know a lot of people have seen this clip where he says, "I make a city girl believe in Satan." Lil Uzi Vert, Lucifer, Lil Uzi Vert, Lucifer, Lucifer, Lil Uzi Vert. Next is Lil Nas X. I mean, this one is extremely just blatant right in front of our faces. His song Montero, all these scenes in it. And then let's talk about the shoes that he attempted to come out with. Obviously, they got canceled because, I mean, Nike did sue over this shoe because it was made with real human blood. I mean, the guy states that it was a bunch of pricks, you know, to get his blood for these shoes. Let's actually look at these shoes real quick. So as you can see right there, there's 666. And then on the front of it, it's Luke 10:18. Luke 18 states, he replied, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." I mean, peep the snake eyes too. I mean, serpent, come on. Next up is Trippie Redd. I mean, and then we got Trippie Redd on Demon Time. Demon Time. Next on the list, we got Sam Smith. I mean, come on now, look at his entrance, all the red. And then it just so happened as he's doing this performance, he's got the devil horns. They're playing the song Unholy. It looks like a damn ritual. In the same hour, there's a massive earthquake in Turkey. Next is Playboy Cardi. I mean, come on, he takes a lot of pictures like this. He's got the horns. I mean, his performance, upside down cross flashing. I heard and read online that there was actual people, you know, possessed in the crowd. I mean, come on, Playboy Cardi literally has Satan tattooed on the back of his neck, guys. Next, we have Lady Gaga. I mean, look at her outfit. And then on top of her outfit, look at her performance. It looks like, you know, another satanic ritual, all the red. Next up, we got Beyonce. As you can see here on the British Vogue magazine, I mean, speaks for itself. Really looks like it's one of the 4 horsemen. There she is right there with the famous hand triangle. And peep this part of this song. Listen.
Swallowed a sword. I levitated, went to the basement, confessed my sins, and was baptized in a river. Got on my knees and said amen, and said I mean. I whipped my own back and asked for dominion at your feet. I threw myself into a volcano. I drank the blood and drank the wine. I sat alone and begged and bent at the waist for God. I crossed myself and thought I saw the devil. I grew thick in skin on my feet. I bathed in bleach and plugged my menses with pages from the holy book, but still inside me, coiled deep, was the need to know.
And the last is The Weeknd. Even though I just covered this in a more detailed video before this, where Satan flashes in the background at one of his concerts. Boom. And sorry if I look so tired. I just got off a very long day at work, but I wanted to get this content out to you guys. If you guys are rocking with me, please just follow. Much love to you guys. Have a good night.
Ooh, that was intense. Yeah.
Burn some sage. Burn some cedar.
Oh my. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we were protected coming in. I mean, we did set protections and, you know, we do have to be able to like at least look at this and talk about it because this is really just, it's for one, it's really sad to see that this is happening and taking over, you know, all of these artists and things like this because I can tell you some of them at one point in time, like I enjoyed, you know, some of their music, you know, back in the day or some type of thing like that. And it's just like, you know, it's like, how does this just take them over? I mean, the whole Doja Cat thing really got me because I remember her being so innocent and having like some genuine music. And now it seems like that was like a 360-degree turnaround with her. So, I mean,
well, they're living.
How does this possession just take over their soul entirely? I mean,
it's super easy. Like when I was a young teenager, my first boyfriend was, prior to me dating him, was involved in some satanic rituals. And unfortunately, because I was so young, I was like 15 or 16, that opened, you know, and I was super open as like a starseed. So I did get some dark entity attachments and it took a really long time to get rid of them. And so these people are young, you know, and so when you're listening to this stuff, when you're talking about this stuff, when you bring awareness to this stuff, you are inviting it in to you. And unless you have the proper protections, unless you have those elders standing by you and guiding you, then it's really, really hard to not get sucked into it and completely and utterly manipulated. And these people are living in LA, right? Most of them. Yeah. And so they just get.
That says a lot. Yeah.
City of Fallen Angels is what it is. The City of Fallen Angels. What's weird is I've never heard of that Doge or whatever, but it's got the word Doge in it. So it's like Doge, the acronym, and also the Doge coin, you know, like, you know, Bitcoin and the one with the, what's the other one called? Shiba Inu, you know,
Shiba Inu.
Shiba Inu. Right. So that's weird. And then with that Marla.
Yeah.
You know, and let's not forget, these people are selling their souls. Like this
Yeah.
is how they get the fame. This is how they get the riches. This is exactly how they get to where they want to be. It's why you don't see any high vibrational artists in those roles playing at the Super Bowl because they are literally having to sell their soul to have these opportunities. So it's really not hard for me to understand because it's like, well, once you do that, I mean, what else is there? You're kind of theirs, right? You're kind of their property. And we know how MK Ultra, we know how all these things work between the drugs, the alcohol, the programming, the frequencies. I mean, there's probably things we don't even know about that they're using, right? So it's probably not that difficult when you get to that point of, well, do you want to make it big or not? And then we're going to blackmail you. We're going to expose you to everything that we can. You're going to have handlers. You're going to be controlled. And so they're not even like free to live their lives. They're literally, puppets in my mind.
I was going to say something worse than that, but I'll keep it to
True.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, I mean, it's just the thing that bothers me the most is that the kids are watching this. So in every single high school that you go to, they're watching this stuff. And so they're being completely manipulated and completely harvested for their energy in order to feed this other demonic energy.
Yes, I have to just say we went to in Savannah with our family, invited us out to one of those basketball games where it's kind of like funny. I forget the name of the team or whatever, but it's something that's, people know and people go to, and it's for families. And so they're supposedly, and so we went, and I was so disgusted. The frequencies, I mean, it was all children everywhere. The frequencies that they were playing, that they were emitting in this space, the music, the putridness, the ill words and the things that they were programming these little innocent children. And and it was so loud too. They used the volume of the noise to also work its way, these frequencies into these people. And so I knew I was there for purpose. I went straight into prayer and protection mode. I was not taking any of it in, but I was a witness and I was called to, yes, the Globetrotters. Thank you, Shelley Morgan. Exactly. Do not bring your children to these freaking professional sports things, these Globetrotters, all these things that they're acting like are for families. I'm telling you right now, do yourself a favor and do not go. Find something wholesome. Okay? Go out and take a hike up on the mountain. They're gonna be much better off there.
And it's also gearing up to Mardi Gras, okay? And Mardi Gras is the whole ritual of the king and the queen, and they pair people up that don't know each other, the Mardi Gras king. And inside the king cake is a plastic baby, which is human sacrifice. And they wear the masks like in the movie Eyes Wide Shut.
Wow.
So it's a whole big ritual, so yeah.
Mardi Gras on March 4th.
Yep. Marching forth to Mardi Gras, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's clearly just so much trickery.
The Fat Tuesday is right before Ash Wednesday, which has to do with Lent, which is gearing up for the whole crucifixion codes for Easter. Festival of Ishtar, ritual, big sacrifice thing. Remember, they opened that portal. How many portals did they open or at St. Peter's, in Rome and all that stuff? Does that all tie into this too?
I'm sure it does, because all of this has been just happening so quickly after that whole Vatican ritual happened, once he opened the fifth gate. And they were showing videos of him coming upon the fifth door, and he was visibly shaking, and it was just very strange how he was acting. So, yeah, there's some sort of black heart intelligence system that kind of operates within the fallen realms, the Metatronic realms, the 55 reversal realms, the um, AI artificial black goo matrices. A lot of times when I see those in people's fields, like they're stacked, like multiple of them, and people have them literally running in their fields, and it's creating these artificial holograms of these realities around them. So it's like that's what they're seeing first before they can then see into organic and what's natural and what is truth. So there's so many lenses and veils of deception and illusion and imposter spirits and trickery. And the number one trickster spirit, let's just get into this really quick, is Kanye West. Kanye West is the number one trickster. I mean, he's out there preaching God, singing all these Jesus walk songs and all this like, you know, services that he's hosting, and then he's turning around and being a energy vampire and using his wife Bianca Sensori to siphon people's energy. I mean, he's using her as a pawn, literally, to pull energy from people into a demonic portal. He is a reptilian. He's a shapeshifter. He's a force breeder, um, wearing King of Tyranny implant. Okay, and it's just crazy. I mean, I felt so guided to data like get up and want to expose this, for what it is and call this a force breeder program. This is clearly what a force breeder program looks like. So I'll just I'll just share.
Indy, look at this comment from Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot. Rumor, Kendrick bringing out Kanye West at the game. I'm getting chills.
Ooh. Is he
Ooh.
watching it?
Ooh.
Ask him if he's watching it.
Well, let's see.
That's exactly what I picked up on as well. I said, I feel like Kendrick Lamar is trying to be like Kanye West. There's something with that. He's like trying to rap like him. He's like trying, I don't know, maybe he's his minion. Maybe he's his Archon or his clone.
Part of the demon club. These demons are coming in together.
Yeah, did you want me to roll the clip on that one, Indy?
Which clip was it that we had? Because I think we had a couple, and I'm not sure we have probably time to play them all. But
I've got two for, it looks like I've got two for him. One with the, what was that at the Grammys that he got all kinds of publicity on, and then another one with a crazy looking bikini on his wife.
Right. Yeah, go ahead and do the bikini one, and then I'll show the picture of her censored.
A bikini that don't fit, let's just say.
Yeah. And actually play his music song too, so people can see how he's deception here. He's trying to fool people.
What's up, Easy?
Any man who loves and appreciates and values his wife would never subjugate her to that kind of exposure of her body.
And display, and people are excited about it.
And it's a pattern now, right? He's showing, right? Every time I see them together, this is what I'm seeing is either sometimes she's just in like a nude like onesie. So it looks like she's, nude out there on the streets walking around. And yeah, there you go. I mean,
I'm surprised they even allowed that. I mean, shouldn't that be like, this is national television here? Little kids are watching this.
It's just a classic force breeder program, like I was trying to highlight before. I mean, his patterning is he goes and picks out his Anunnaki reptilian queen, okay, Kim Kardashian, who he chose as the wife of his children, has 4 children with her, okay, 4. It's kind of a big number, okay? Has her have all his children and then, leaves her to raise all of the children and then goes off and finds another woman that he's going to parade around naked and show off. I mean, this is what a typical reptilian force breeder would do. He wouldn't be at home taking care of his family. He would be, out making things difficult for everyone and subjugating another woman clearly in this severe public manner and way that she has no clue that she's literally part of satanic ritual abuse. She's the offering. I mean, it's sad to watch and see because she's chained to him. She literally has shackles, force breeder shackles, from her body to his. This is humiliation. When we say it's a satanic ritual offering, I mean, public humiliation is how they usually go about it. And it's really hard to watch. It's hard to watch. It's hard to see.
And I have to point out now you've shared, this photo, we just looked at the bikini one, every single one he's wearing black and dark colors. And he's also in the bikini one, I noticed he had a necklace that looked very much like the crown of thorns on.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
wondering,
I'll pull up. You want to see his music video you had there? I'll pull that up.
sure. I'll stop my screen share.
He's definitely got a pimp energy.
He's just completely defiles and disrespects women. I'm going to show you a couple of his posts on his ex. It's horrible.
In the faith through temptations, make sure they're wide awake. Follow Jesus, listen and train them in the faith through temptations.
Okay, so he's telling us to follow Jesus. I mean, would a man that follows Christ be doing this type of
No.
behavior? Okay, exactly.
And then what year was that post? Was that recent, that video that he, I mean, because kids, their children are significantly older now. So it probably was like a couple years ago.
Yeah, I definitely think it was. But you know, this is his mindset. This is this man's mindset. This is what he's posting on X.
And I have to highlight this comment. I won't say it completely, but you know, Jim bringing up that these rapper dudes aren't even into women. You know what that means, right?
Yeah.
And they're a lot of these even actors and things like this, I think, are playing on for the other team, so to speak, and really just have probably a strong hatred for women if you think about that.
Yeah.
How they are so vile in their music and the things that they speak about. It's disgusting.
Horribly
Not
vile.
for life.
Well, this is Kanye's post from February 8th. Okay, yesterday. Hoes sell pussy for a night, surrogates sell pussy for 9 months, and wives sell pussy for life.
Like wives should be owned. Like, you know, like women are owned. That's what it sounds like.
I mean, he's just as bad as the radical Islamist at this point. I mean, this is.
I was going to say that. That's what it feels like and sounds like.
And how about the sadness around that of a man that doesn't even understand that he would be worthy enough that a woman would want to give that as a gift, that they're not selling it, you know, because this is a big theme in Hollywood, in the elites. You know, I just saw the guys here were telling me that Mr. Kraft, who's one of the guys that owns, I think, the Patriots or something, just like got a 24-year-old girlfriend. He's like 70 something years old. And it's just there's this mentality around selling, that we're a product, that we're a commodity. And you know what? We're not, you know, and we're here giving our love and our sacred pieces and parts to those men that are actually divine masculine, that are actually honoring us and loving us. Like, that really happened. So it kind of hurts my heart thinking about these men out here that don't even understand that that's a possibility, that, you know, what they hold of their own God rod, right? And how that
they've already
with women.
Yeah, they've already given it away. But I also, you know, it's also the women's fault too. I know that they get sucked into this, but you know, they're playing right into it, and she is putting herself out there, and you have to have respect for yourself. And clearly, you know, a lot of these women are not having respect for themselves. And so they're playing right into it as well. I don't know.
They are, but in a way they aren't, because women are biologically, and this is where men, not all men, okay? I want to say that, but they know their power, and they know that they can manipulate that natural submission that women will have, and yielding into her man, and they will dominate and utilize that, especially, you know, the predatorial and narcissistic forces and reptilian forces within them. I mean, they do the love bombing thing at first until they get you where they want you type of thing. It's a grooming. She's groomed. She's mentally and emotionally groomed to be what he wants her to be. And so that's sad, because that's what we're looking at, as somebody who's been completely mind fucked and lost all her power.
Yep.
Here's another one of his posts. Legalize prostitution. He posted it yesterday at 11:01 p.m.
He's pretty out there, man. What an embarrassment to his like children and to Kim. Like, what an absolute.
People in the chat are just bringing up and reminding us, which I think we all know, but just again reiterating that you know, he kind of has gone through these different periods where some people even think he was cloned and replaced. I mean, some people are talking about his own, you know, having an MK Ultra breakdown, and when the Kardashians put him in a mental institute. So there's, you know, she's saying there's more than we know, right, going on, of course, with all these, you know, celebrities. And is it really him? You know, somebody else said he's a starseed further down in the comments. You know, he tried to break his programming and they had to double down on his MK Ultra regimen. And then he looks different. You see this a lot with celebrities, with government officials. It's like all of a sudden they look weird or they have a different look in their eyes. They've lost weight, you know, things that are very extreme quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's surgery. We know that there's ways that people can do this stuff, but it does kind of bring us to this point of, you know, questioning some of this. Is that even him? Right? I don't know.
You know, it is kind of a big change and shift for him to go singing about Jesus, to be like basically dog walking his bitch out in the
Right.
streets. Sorry, I'll say it like
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? But so it's like, wow, what happened to his soul?
Well, he gave it away for now. It's gonna take a long path to get back to the
Well,
one.
I want to end things on a funny note. Okay, this is really bad, you guys, but I did see this post. I thought this was like evening the score a little bit, bringing in a little bit of humor, but we're saying, you know, if he's gonna make her go out there and be naked, we think we should see Kanye West naked. They should switch roles. Okay, so he can show up at the Grammys like this, and she can dress like him, and now we've evened the score.
They should actually do that. That would be pretty epic.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's horrible, but
it is bad. I know. And it's like, ew, who really actually would ever want to see Kanye West naked? Come on, you know, that's just
Well, I'm just saying his square there wasn't very long. It wasn't a big square, so just
Oh, clear.
Yeah, guys.
Noko, look at the colors.
I see it. I saw it
Yeah.
earlier, and I'm just saying laughter is
Very
the
good.
best medicine. So, you know, I love that we brought that in because I think it's important that we do that to help clear, right? Clear the space,
sage
clear the
everyone.
energies. Thank you, Ani.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
welcome.
And Ghost Dancer Radio says I'm damaged for life after viewing.
Sorry.
We all are.
Even her cat's going crazy. She's like, I saw this. Missy's cat.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but I think it's good that that we can at least call it for what it is. I mean, it's not a far reach to say, yeah, forced breeder programs are happening. They are occurring. There are people who are walking examples of them. Kanye West and his whole situation being one. You know, I talked about Princess Diana at one point being one as well. She was brought in from a very royal bloodline. Okay, Princess Diana has a very noble royal bloodline, and you know they called her in to be a forced breeder for the monarchy, and then they disposed of her. We've all seen what's happened to Britney Spears. I mean, she's clearly was ran through a forced breeder program and then was basically disposed of. And so, I mean, this is unfortunately, this is what's happening with the degradation of the nuclear family. And like you said, Missy, coming in, like needing to heal the masculine and the feminine energies and um, remove all of the negative sexual misery and, you know, distorted forced breeder implants and get back to being humble and human and connected to, you know, the creation of life and the cradle of life and, you know, what this is all really about, you know, stepping back into gentleness and loving of your family and not exploiting of your family and things like this. We got a lot of work to do. That is for sure. But I think we want to end it with a nice prayer maybe for everyone at the Super Bowl to stay safe. And Ani, you actually before we came in, I mean, you kind of brought it in there at the beginning, and I really liked what you were doing. Do you feel?
I mean, that was a protection prayer, so I already said the protection prayer for everyone. But yeah, I can do a prayer. You know, I just got to get into it right now, and yeah. So, Great Spirit, the one omnipresent, omnipotent creator of the universe, I just want to give great thanks to you and our beautiful Mother Earth, and the sun, our soul sun that's watching over us, and all of the guides and guardians from Star Nation and spirit guides on our planet, and our angel guides that are with us, all of us right now. I just want to give great thanks. And I want to bring awareness and light to all of the people at the Super Bowl, and any darkness or negative energy or negative entities or demons or whatever that is there. I just want to bring love to that whole space. And I want to use the energy and the power of our beautiful Mother Earth to send all those dark forces back to the sun for purification, never to reside in anyone ever again on this planet. Go back. We don't want you here. We only want to bring the light in so we can help our beautiful Mother Earth ascend to her next level, and for all beings on our planet to live in peace, love, happiness, joy, beauty. We all deserve it. And if those forces that have attached to our beautiful human souls that have come on this planet to make a difference, please leave. We don't want you here anymore. So I just want to bring in the guardians, bring in the angels, draw a divine white light circle around us all to only shine beauty and love back into the world, into the universe. So it is, so it shall be, so be it. Ashe Hala.
And we affirm this, and we vow this, and we decree this now.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, sister, so much for bringing that in.
That was kind
really
of
good.
Very direct, but I don't know. I just had to burn.
That's exactly how it needs to be.
Yeah.
That's how it needs to be.
Let's
direct.
burn some cedar.
Yes.
Burn some cedar.
Yeah.
Prayer can be huge for those, if we pray together in numbers, we can make a difference. We can change the direction, the timelines.
And really, this is what the Charleston Boots on the Ground mission, I think, is going to be about, is us being able to come together as a group and really bring home and drive in those sacred ceremonies. And, in the beginning, when we first decided to do this mission, I think we were calling it a global war prevention mission. That was the first thing, because it was like we were getting all the Civil War hits and stuff, and we were like, we want to, clear those World War timelines, the World War III timelines. And so, we chose the date when we did for a reason. I got so much confirmation today that this is a guardian rescue mission. This is being guided by source, by the guardians themselves, by new guardians that have been coming forward to me. I've been met with a lava earth goddess that's actually come forward, like an 8th dimensional guardian spirit being. And I was like, wow. So we're starting to get visited by the guardians themselves to guide us more. Calling in our guardian soul family, our rescue family, to go and restore those gate systems. So more and more I'm getting the confirmation and the hard yeses that inspired me to say to Missy, because she was bringing this forward for a long time, that I'm like, yes, we're in. We're all in 100%. So we've really gotten the green light. We've gotten the green light on South Carolina.
And I'm going to speak about this with Rob tonight at 9 o'clock. So tune into Typical Skeptic. And one of the things I'll be talking about, that since I've been down at Mar-a-Lago and Palm Beach, Port of Palm Beach, and not that far from Miami either. I mean, as a bird flies, I'm probably maybe 15, 20 minutes from Mar-a-Lago, but about 30 minutes in the car with traffic. But what I was getting is that the Bermuda Triangle was actually a Lemurian birthing center that became weaponized during Atlantis. It holds the creation code. So the reason what came to me years ago is when they weaponize feminine vortexes, and they do any kind of war codes, or they run red wave AI sequences, what happens is it becomes what's called the scorned woman. The bitch, she's angry and she wants to take her power back. So, but there's a lot of creation in that Kali Ma type of energy. So a correction is going to happen, and the Bermuda Triangle is going to come back online for the good, as these J seals that are being removed, and also as these chevron births, according to Ashiana Dean talks about the chevron births, which clear the Jehovian seals. The last one's supposed to pin off, I think it's in May of 2025, clearing all those Jehovian seals. So we're timely with this.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. As I seen today, that Charleston was so important because it's gonna create like a trifecta between Sarasota Stargate to Bermuda Triangle and then Charleston. That's like the triangle of the Stargate system over there, with Charleston being the third spot or the third location. And that was going to be significant for us to work on both Stargate systems simultaneously from that point. Like that was the best energetic point in the grid.
There was a reason
So that was coming
Ponce de
through
Leon
pretty
and
powerfully
people like
today.
that- There was a reason Ponce de Leon and people like that were looking for the fountain of youth in all these different places, like in Puerto Rico. You have to remember, Charleston was strategically located as a
Oh,
trading
I think
point.
she's freezing up.
I'm freezing. This internet's supposed to be 5G internet or whatever.
Indy, it looks like you're freezing up from my end, which is kind of strange.
Yep, she's freezing up.
It is Indy on my
It's
end as
Indy.
well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Indy on my end.
Oh,
Indy.
wow. It is me.
Weird energies.
Hmm If you guys are okay with it, I'd like to just bring through a little frequency for everyone before we finish. Is that, yeah?
Mhm.
いいお年や、いいお年やはや、いいおと、いいおしやたや、やてよのしやなやとしやなおThank you, thank you, thank you. Just extending that out to everyone that might be partaking in watching these black magic rituals, allowing those frequencies to clear, the inversions, rebuking all demonic energies, and just bringing in that beautiful Christ consciousness and that love that's in all of our hearts, just anchoring that in to counteract any of these negative frequencies. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Aho.
Aho.
Well, thank you so much, Noko. That was really lovely and beautiful, and we appreciated it so much. And just thank you all for joining me to come in with this, I think, a little bit more difficult conversation, because it definitely, I think it all triggered us all some level, somewhere with that. I mean, definitely not going to bring it back up or through, but so we had to work through some things there on this one, but I'm so happy to do it with my besties, because you guys are, my sisters, and you are my strength, and we really do weave this, bond, and we expand this out to our community, and we also hold it for everyone else too, this strength and this love. So just know that every time we come together for a show, I mean, we're coming to just charge everyone really with everything that we're holding within that space, because we got really expanded heart chakras and we got a lot of love for everybody. So yeah, we love you all so much. And we hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. If you're going to go watch the Super Bowl or tune into the commercials, whatever it is, we'll catch up with you on the next show. We're going to be going live on Tuesday at 7 p.m. CST. We're going to go deeper into this whole Mara Gaza situation. So we hope that you guys will join us. Be sure to set your reminder and put a like on this video on your way out and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notifications bell if you haven't. And yeah, we love you guys. Have a beautiful evening.